Pretty much everybody has heard of the Hitman series at some point in time, but not many have actually tried it or gave it a fair shot, and I think there are many reasons for why gamers are reluctant to get into it. But now with the entire trilogy being part of the Game Pass, I thought it would be the best opportunity to talk about it and share my fascination for this masterpiece with you. When Hitman's episodic release strategy was announced, most people probably felt very confused and weren't happy about it, myself included. I wanted to buy the entire game and not just single episodes, but paying for the entire game now, when only a couple of missions are available, is a little weird. Honestly, I can't tell you if this method of releasing this trilogy was good or bad for the franchise. It might have helped to finance the entire thing while it was still in development, but now with Hitman 3 released, it's very confusing and way too expensive to get the entire package. Especially because you can play all missions in Hitman 3 now, but you have to get the right DLC? It's just too convoluted, and I hope that going forward they might adapt a simpler system to not scare away a potential audience. Like I already mentioned, if this wasn't on Game Pass, I don't know if I'd have ever played it. But if we say that isn't an issue, then Hitman is one of the most unique experiences that you won't get anywhere else. In my latest video where I talked about the immersive sim genre, I mentioned this franchise quite a lot, saying that even if it isn't a true immersive sim, it definitely follows a similar philosophy. If this is the first time you've heard of this genre, then I can recommend you my video on the top right where I explained it in a condensed form. But just to quickly reiterate, they are games that are mainly built on systems and rules, giving you many tools and a rich environment to fulfill your goals the way you want to. In Hitman, that is made very clear, with your goal being to eliminate the targets on the map. Your approach to achieve this goal, however, is where it becomes very intriguing, since you have the freedom to do it however you please. It can be as simple as walking up, shooting them in the head, and then blasting your way out to the exit. But that's more of a brute force approach and wouldn't be very stealthy now, would it? So how about instead of shooting them in the head while everybody sees us, why don't we just shoot the chandelier over their head from a hidden position and see what happens? That worked, and it even counted as an accident, so nobody's going to be suspicious. That was great, but there are so many more creative options spread across 20 well-designed open maps filled with masses of NPCs and secret paths to explore. Mastering these is going to take some time, but is an absolute blast all the way through. The developer thought of so many scenarios and added more tools to play with over time, some being used universally while others are mission or target specific. Most of the latter ones can be learned by using Hitman's mission stories, formerly known as opportunities. These act as quests guiding you through parts of levels where you learn important information, get a certain disguise, or trigger a special action to be able to interact with your target. For example, in the second mission of Hitman 1, by playing a certain mission story, you learn that your target is going to see a psychiatrist who already arrived in town but hasn't entered the mansion yet, enjoying a nice drink at a nearby cafe. So you can poison his drink, take him out in the bathroom to acquire his disguise, arrive at the mansion, tell them that you're the ordered psychiatrist, and then start a session alone in a room with your target. IO Interactive, the developer of this fascinating franchise, wants you to know about your possible options, since they can be very specific from mission to mission. However, all the set rules like disguises and distractions are a constant. If something worked in one map, it most likely will work the same way in another. The game is very consistent with this. Aside from these mission stories, each level also has challenges that can point you towards funny interactions or special outcomes. It's built on replayability above all, and for anybody that enjoys games like Payday 2, where you play the same missions but in different ways, this absolutely hits the mark. You should not confuse the replayability with grind, however. You don't have to grind for anything in this game. It's a playground where you decide what to do. There's a progression system that very neatly integrates itself in each mission, or even account-wide, that lets you unlock special starting locations or gadgets or weapons. It's a reward in addition to the satisfaction you feel by completing hard challenges or getting better at the game in general. Over time, you know what works and what doesn't, how you can slip past a couple of guards or observe your surroundings better. Speedruns in this game are absolutely incredible to watch, and show the potential that you actually have when you understand all of Hitman's systems perfectly. Even nowadays, there are still improvements in mechanics being made and discovered. The trilogy also features a contract system, where players can create their own missions based on the already existing maps for other players to tackle. Without getting into too much detail here, you can choose a certain NPC that roams the map, Set them as a target and give requirements, like kill them while disguised as a guard with a silenced pistol in the head. You can also simply say kill the target, but that's up to you. There are thousands of missions available, and some of the really cool ones get featured by the developer and are showcased for the community to play. It's a fantastic system that creates a lot of replayability for a long time. Honestly, I've barely scratched the surface. I haven't even touched on elusive targets or escalations. These are things that I want you to discover for yourself by playing the game and giving it a shot. Hitman is not a stealth game. It's an immersive sim by heart and focuses on much different aspects like creativity and freedom of choice with a sandbox approach that never gets old. There's no game like Hitman. So if you haven't played it yet, then go grab it on a sale, or an even easier way, use Game Pass. It is not sponsored, I'm sorry, but I really like the Game Pass. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, consider joining my newly created Discord, where I always announce the latest video, share some thoughts, and talk to you guys about gaming related topics. Link is in the description. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching, and I wish you a great rest of your day. See you next time.